Listen, I might have to leave y'all sitting here for a minute because I gotta go sign some paperwork. But I want to tell y'all something, man. Hopefully, it's a good morning for all of y'all. And when you see this, I need you to consider some things, man. So I'm up late last night just following the talking points in the news and watching stuff. And I want to make an example to you. This is reality of what you saw yesterday. You saw the former president of the United States um, get shot in the ear, and it was an attempted assassination attempt. That's the reality of what you saw yesterday. That reality has to be moved in a certain direction. The talking points of that reality has to be moved in people's minds in a certain direction. And based on what I've been seeing, just on my channel is not small, it's pretty big. It's not a million, 2 million, 10 million, but it's big enough to where it gets enough attention to where people want to weigh in. The talking point is being pushed out that it was a setup by Donald Trump to stop people from talking about this Project 2025. That's the dumbest shit on the planet. And I'm not going to hold my language today. I'm just going to tell you like it is. That's the dumbest shit on the planet. A presidential candidate who's got his opponent blown out of the water, in the middle of his opponent having a meltdown, in the middle of them fighting each other to say who's going to be in office, does not take the attention off of your enemy. That man is smarter than that. He ain't going to sit there and take attention off the fact that his enemy is failing. So that's the dumbest narrative on the planet. He did it as a setup to make sure that people stop talking about Project 2025. If you believe that, I'm sorry, you're not very intelligent at all. That's the dumbest thing on the planet. The second thing that's just absolutely insane to me, I mean completely and totally insane to me, is that people fail to realize, they really do fail to realize, that the same FBI that raided the Mar-a-Lago place where he lived and had a shoot-to-kill order on him when they raided his home to get the quote-unquote classified documents, remember the classified documents case, that's the same people that's investigating this. And that's the same people that are involved in this. So whatever they say is going to be a lie. I'm sorry. You already got evidence that they're liars and that they corrupted. So I don't even know how people can even look at anything that comes out of them and say it's going to be the truth, or a fraction of the truth, or part of the truth, or any truth at all. You see what I'm saying? People got to think. That's what kills me. And then the last thing that really aggravates the crap out of me is this. We got people who call themselves Christians, who don't have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to know that God anoints men to do things in a nation. So let me explain this to you so you understand. America was an altar to God. The founding fathers made it an altar to God when they dedicated it to the Lord. Now people will tell you, well, the founding fathers were Masons, they were this, they were this, they were that. This is what you don't understand about my daddy in heaven. When you dedicate something to him and you make a covenant with him, his end of the covenant stands up. You could turn your silly ass around and run off and become a Satanist, become a Buddhist, become whatever you want to do. He honors his word. So you dedicate a nation to him, he honors his word. That nation becomes an altar. That's why America was the most prosperous nation. So if you look at America as an altar to God, then you see why all the other stuff had to be put in. Why prayer had to come out of schools. Why the LGBTQ had to be pushed into schools. Because it's an altar to God. And even the Russian government said, the communists, when they were trying to take America down, they said nobody can take America down from the outside. It has to be taken down from the inside. This is the thing. All these people call themselves researchers, conspirator. I'm a conspiracy researcher. But you don't know what the fuck you researching because you don't see the spiritual elements of it. So all you do is see information. So when you see an assassination attempt, you don't know, hold on, what happened in the realm of the spirit that provoked this assassination attempt in the natural realm? And then so you got Christians saying, well, I don't God says, trust no man, trust the Lord only. Dummy. God chose the man for this nation. If you ain't recognized that yet, bro, you silly and stupid. I'm sorry. And I'm just gonna keep it 100% real with you. God is the one who makes kings and takes kings down. That's what the Bible said. He's the one who set men in place. And so the people say, oh, no. I don't put my trust in no man. I put my trust in God. Yeah, you put your trust in God, but then you haven't discerned that God chose this man. And the last thing, bro, that's absolutely buck banana, stupid and crazy, is the Q-tards. I mean, the Q-tards, y'all don't realize how insulting you are. Watch this. The world is a stage, and it's all a movie. You never figured out that whole Q movement that came out, the world is a stage and it's all a movie, was designed to make you sit on your hands and not go vote. It was not designed to make sure you weren't politically an activist, because now you are a passenger, or not a passenger, you are seated in a movie theater watching a movie play. So you sit back and say, it's all a movie. Sit back and watch as it unfolds. Get your popcorn and watch as it unfolds. So inherently, you take a percentage of the people who are involved in the information war and take them out of the information war, because they're going to sit on their ass and say it's a movie. Straight up. You sit on your ass because it's a movie. Then you got the nerve to sit here and tell people it's all a movie. Okay, if it's all a movie and it's all a show, so the Russian nuclear submarines that's off the coast of America aren't real. The Chinese spy base in Cuba is not real. The money that was funneled and sent to Ukraine as drug money, which Ukraine is the hub of sex smuggling and sex trafficking and drug trafficking, none of that's real. The potential for World War III, which is very real, ain't real. And let me make it even more personal. Real personal. What you're saying to the father and mother of the little girl who got raped by MS-13 gangsters and migrants or invaders, that wasn't real. None of that stuff is real, because it's all a movie. The increase in crime ain't real. It's all a movie. Are you stupid? What is wrong with you? Real talk. Like, what is mentally wrong with you? Nothing real. So this narrative has convinced you that everything you see around you, everything going down, none of it's real. Is what this narrative has convinced you. And it's all a show. It's all a movie. So the migrants getting on, I don't even know what I'm called, the invaders, the illegals that's on scooters right now, like they do in third world countries, pulling up, robbing people, that ain't real. The hurricanes that's making 90-degree turns and hitting Houston, that wasn't real. You see, you can't have both of them. Hit the like button, man. It's 212 of y'all and 66 people. Hit the like button. I ain't going to be long. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. To see, this shit is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. What you're going to know by tomorrow is you're going to know where they push the talking points to. I ain't even turned on the news today, and I ain't even opened anything to read anything to see what the talking points are. But here's how you can tell what's going on. If they try and sweep it under the rug and the news pushes the narrative over the next 48 hours, because they can't get it out of people's minds now, that, oh, it was a failed assassination attempt, or it wasn't a real assassination, or it was a setup. If the news adopts that narrative, they're going to try and whack them again real soon. Because they realize, okay, we missed. We got a problem on our hands. So you're going to be able to tell what they're going to do next by the talking points they push out to people. Now, there's organic stuff that's happening that's being picked up. What you see online is the stuff that's being picked up that people are saying. You know what I'm saying? So when I see somebody comment, I'm knowing that you picked up on stuff that you've heard somewhere. But I'm going to say this, and you need to understand this. Remember, as far as the left was concerned, we heard years of silence was violence. Right? And this is the most profound statement. Silence is violence. Remember, people chanting that silence is violence, silence is violence, silence is violence, silence is violence. And then when you click on certain channels, you see people celebrating a former president getting shot. These are the same people that was telling you that silence was violence, but you won't acknowledge bloodshed being real violence. And finally, the last thing, and then I'm about to go handle my business, and I might come back because I need to deal with this. Finally, the last thing is this. In the realm of the spirit, the blood of somebody who's anointed to do God's work speaks. And it screams when you draw that blood. So if you were actually a praying person and you went to pray at midnight last night, or if you went to pray through one of the prayer gates, then you literally heard and felt the prayers that was going on last night. That's how many people were praying yesterday. That's how powerful it was yesterday. I mean, it was buck bananas last night at 12 midnight. I mean, it was buck bananas. But people ain't figured out that all that starts in the realm of the spirit. But there's other people who know, and I'll point it out to you. Remember when Trump was first running, they were talking about in the news how they had covens of witches trying to curse him. Go back and look. Matter of fact, it was the biggest, baddest coven on the planet. The second biggest, baddest coven on the planet was trying to curse him. There were stories coming out about people trying to astro project to him and running into Secret Service agents in the astral realm. But people, you go back and read it. So everything that you see starts in the spirit realm and manifests in the natural realm. But you got to understand, even the talking points manifest there. That's why the Associated Press has 3 a.m. talking points. That's why they go out at 3 a.m. in the morning. Everybody be like, 3 a.m. is the witching hour. Okay, cool. If that's what it is. Then why you got to put their talking points at the witching hour? You see what I'm saying? People got to be smarter than this, man. Really got to be smarter than this. So here's my thing. If you find yourself in a chat, and now is the time to be very active in chats. Now is not the time to be, because it's an information war. Now is the time to be extremely active in chats all over the internet. When you see them talking points, make sure that you refute those talking points, because if it's organically grown, which is not, a lot of it is bots, but as they organically push them out, those narratives is what's going to settle in people's heads. The true narrative is this. The FBI, who raided Mar-a-Lago, was involved in this assassination attempt. They're going to cover it up. Joe Biden, who he asked for extra Secret Service, didn't give it to him, so he was a part of it. There's no way that you got that close to a U.S. president, period, unless you were allowed to. There's no way around it. So somebody here got to roll. Somebody in the Secret Service got to get fired. Somebody got to get prosecuted. Point blank, period. That's just, it is what it is. And the final talking point is they got to be peace. You can't have no violence, because they want violence. They want riots in the streets. They want people to go crazy. So they got to lock everybody behind up and have their quote unquote civil war. They have lost. It's over. I mean, over. They've lost. And that's just, quite frankly, the truth of the matter. And if you go find real middle of the road, moderate Democrats, which I know, they're sitting there saying, hey, man, this is a bunch of bullshit, Jake. Like, this is a bullshit. If the shoe was on the other foot, I wouldn't like this either. And then they see the blood being drawn. And then they see the radical side of their party chanting and cheering. And they're like, hold on, man. I'm an American. I may not agree with everything this man say, but I'm an American. This ain't good for America. So they lost. Hands down, they lost. And it's up to everybody else to hand them a victory. That's it. You got to give them a victory, because they lost. Point blank, period. And as you see people saying, oh, it's a diversion from Project 2025. I made a comment yesterday that the black boule, I said the boule, but the black boule is saying that it was a setup and it was fake. So if you don't know who the black boule is, the black boule is all your entertainers, they're all your rappers, all your ball players that are on that side. They are part of the black boule. And you'll pay attention to which one of those people actually come out and talk. D.L. Hughley is definitely one of them. D.L. Hughley was the first one to say that. Plies came out and said some stuff, but Plies is an ignorant little street dude. I don't think he really know no better. You know what I'm saying? I just think he's just an ignorant dude. They don't have the mouthpiece of Diddy. They don't have the mouthpiece of Jay-Z. Neither one of them can be a mouthpiece anymore because all of them is pervs. So they don't have those mouthpieces to speak anymore. The influence that they had over the black community is waned because of the perversion that they all participated in. And the immoral, retarded, sexual stuff that they were all doing. So they don't have that influence anymore because once it comes to the light, it's realized that black people are pretty conservative. Like, yo, I ain't really with, dudes doing stuff with dudes. And it's obvious that that's how it is because when you look at the hip hop culture was extremely anti-homosexual to the point to where it was like, no Diddy. What was they saying before no Diddy? Pause. You say something, pause. That lets you know the mindset of that community. So when you roll all the other foolishness in, Diddy and all his stuff, people are like, nah, I ain't pause. I ain't messing with that. Your boy, I ain't doing that Diddy stuff. And if they was, they still don't want to be projected like they was a part of that. So if you understand the layout of the land, you understand they lost. The only way they win is if people run around acting a damn fool. The only way they win is if you let talking points roll out that just absolutely make no sense and then move the Overton window to a point to where you're debating reality of what you saw. And that's what the media does. They're going to try and make you debate the reality of you seeing it was live captured, live on television, live on internet. They're going to make you debate the reality of what you saw, as opposed to moving past the fact that that is reality. No, it's a reality that man got shot in the side of the head, in the ear, point blank, period. Reality, that happened. That's what we all witnessed. Why did it happen? Who allowed it to happen? Who going to prison for it? Any other argument is stupid and fruitless and futile. And if you let yourself get drug into any other argument, now you're dragging that Overton window in their direction. Dragging it all the way over in their direction to where now we're debating reality, which is what they do. Is what the media specializes in doing and what their online operatives specialize in doing. Having you debate reality and moving reality from here to where the debate is. That's what the whole Q movement was about. That's what all of it is about. So if the world is a stage, it's all a show. So 30-something million people didn't die from getting poked. Cancer is not rising from getting poked. That's all a part of the show. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying to you? And I'm just keeping it 100% real with you, dog. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been spazzing because my phone been ringing. People, I've been spazzing today. So when you see them stupid talking points, refute them talking points. Oh, he did this because he was losing. You crazy. Your candidate can't even talk. Your candidate lost a debate 2 weeks ago in an astounding manner that caused all kind of chaos in your party. So you said it. This was a setup because he needed a setup. He needed a setup. No. That wasn't in his best interest. That was in your best interest. And it still wasn't in your best interest. You still made it worse. Because it didn't work out the way you wanted to work out. So now the only option you got left is to go at that old man and knock his head off his shoulders. And I'm going to tell you this. No matter what the deep state do, God is judging them. I promise you, God is judging them. No matter what they do, it's not going to work for them. Because he's judging them. For all the death, the murder, the corruption, everything that done went on, he's judging them. And that judgment is played out in this realm. And for those people who be like, oh, yeah, the Lord said, follow no man, but follow God. Jesus Christ is the pattern for all men. The judgment against sin and death was laid out through God in the form of a man. That's the pattern of judgment on this planet. It comes through men.
I was like, it's almost 11.
It comes through men. Just like all blessings of the Lord come from him, from through a man to another man. And if you actually, I'm a Christian, and if you don't understand the systems that the Lord has put in place and how it works, it's amazing to me. It's absolutely amazing to me. But people just be running around, running him out. But don't understand the system. Don't understand the system of judgment. Don't understand the system of blessings. Don't understand the system of curses. Don't understand nothing. If people understood it, if people truly understood it, you would know that these 432 people here could pray right now and move the spirit realm to expose who in the FBI was behind it, expose who in the Secret Service was behind it, and they would be exposed. But guess who do understand it? How the spirit realm and the natural realm work. Them same group of witches that was trying to curse him, the same ones that was doing curses before this happened. That's all over the news. But then people are like, I'm a Christian and this, and I trust in the Lord and I don't trust no man. Man, you don't know what the hell you talking about. You ain't even participating in the battle at all. Anyway, let me go sign this paperwork. I'm gonna holler back at y'all.